next guest, Mimshach Obioha, is the Executive Director of Ventures Platform. Ventures Platform is a tech company searching for tech-enabled solutions to address the current coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic through an innovation challenge that he'll be telling us all about. Welcome to the morning show, Mimshach. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, good morning. It's really awesome to be here.
How are you today? Mimshach, your company has joined forces.
I guess you're in Lagos, right?
Yes, we are.
We can hear you, yes.
Lagos.
Social distancing in Lagos.
Exactly.
Ventures Platforms has joined forces with the state government through its agency, Lagos State Science Research and Innovation Council, also known as LASRIC. And this is in a bid to find tech-enabled solutions to combat the scourge of COVID-19. Can you share a few more details with us as to what it is Ventures Platform actually does?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on this show. I'm super excited to be here and also to talk about the work that we do and the work that we're doing currently to combat COVID-19. So Ventures Platform is an organization that catalyzes innovation and entrepreneurship on the African continent. And we do this by supporting innovators and entrepreneurs that are leveraging innovation and technology, of course, to solve some of the most pressing problems. Today, we have a venture fund that invests equity capital into some of the most innovative businesses that you know, like Paystack, Thriver Greek, PiggyVest. We also have an amazing park and co-working space in Abuja that houses about 150 plus entrepreneurs per time working on great innovative products and also building like a vibrant community of smart people. And thirdly, we have a foundation, which is the part that I lead personally. And the foundation basically does a lot of capacity building programs, innovation challenges like the COVID-19 Innovation Challenge, and also working with the various stakeholders in the ecosystem to make sure that we're building an enabling environment for innovation and entrepreneurship. So that's a summary of what Ventures Platform in total does. I'm the executive director of the Ventures Platform Foundation. Kola Aino is the CEO of Ventures Platform and also the founder of the whole group, basically. So for the COVID-19, when we realized that this was a pandemic and was spreading across the world, we realized that we needed to find innovative solutions to the problems and to the challenges, and also find a way to support the government of Nigeria in response to this pandemic. And so we did, as our tradition is, to do a call for application to the ecosystem, which is made up of innovators, entrepreneurs, developers, techies, doctors, professionals, to ask for them to send in ideas for how they think we can combat various challenges within the COVID-19 in code value chain. And so we got about over 500 applications, and we worked with different professionals within our Ventures Platform team, got some people, stakeholders from the government, got people also from the medical field, medical doctors came in together, and all of this, by the way, happened remotely. So my organization has gone on full remote working since this pandemic struck, and so we literally have been running this program with different people from all around the world. Kola, myself, my team, everybody's in different cities, different states, and working together to make sure that this works. And so we pulled together a virtual panel, we reviewed the applications, and finally we came up with 7 companies or 7 projects that we will be supporting over the next 1 week, providing them with all the necessary resources that they need, connections to the government, and some grant finance to help them grow, build out that solution, launch it in the market, and hopefully we can begin to save lives. That's basically how we're thinking about the innovation challenge.
Equity-free grant, as well as the opportunity for more investments. And at this point in history, I think that is exactly what the private sector needs to be doing. So congratulations.
Yes, indeed. And, I'm wondering how much inroad, Mimshach, how much inroad has innovation and technology made in Nigeria, and how more difficult is it, with the dearth in basic infrastructure like electricity and all of that? I mean, how do you hope to deploy innovation and technology to close the wide gap in Nigeria's economy, the health sector, especially now that we're having to fight COVID-19?
Well, like I said, it's challenging. It's challenging everywhere. Infrastructure deficiencies is going to obviously, or has obviously affected the ecosystem and the full potential. But what we're seeing is a steady rise in the potential and also in the market penetration of digital solutions. Some years ago, you and I knew that it was super difficult to, for example, make payments online. But now, thanks to organizations like Flutterwave and Paystack, that's super possible. It was difficult to save. You had to go and queue in banks, but even banks are responding to technology with the whole Star 737 movement. So basically what we're seeing is technology changing the way everything is done, from the way healthcare is being delivered to the way we communicate, the way we save, the way we pay. And yes, we know things can be better, but things are not dire. What we're seeing is a steady rise. Infrastructure definitely will make things so much better. Internet penetration in rural communities will help more people get access. Being able to have power supply, which is one major problem that a lot of people are having today, would also make things better. Digital literacy will ensure that more people can adopt new technologies and new solutions. But yes, while all of these things are there and all of these challenges are there, we can't say that we're not making a lot of progress. Just last year alone, we saw a lot of Nigerian companies raising so much more equity finance from international communities, organizations and startups scaling. We also saw Nigerian startups going outside the country. And I think this year we had the first indigenous Nigerian unicorn in InterSwitch. So I think that the innovation and technology space is growing super fast. It's contributing to Nigeria's economy. They're creating jobs. They're making it more efficient for us to do a lot of things that we would have been doing more cumbersome in the past. And I think that there's room for so much more. But like I said, we're making a lot of progress.
Thanks, Mimshach. Now, let's take a look at technology, using technology to fight COVID-19, rather. A lot of people are calling for tech talent during this time. New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo has asked for all the tech talents to come out of New York in order to ensure that they can fight it. And if we look to some of the people that actually, even where it started, for example, in China, where COVID-19 started in Wuhan, the province of Hubei in China, they have actually used emerging technologies in order to combat COVID-19 as well, whether it's robots in the hospitals so that humans don't have to come into contact with infected parties. So talk to us about the actual emerging technologies that you are using in order to combat this virus.
Oh, great. So like you have said already, technology will play a massive role in combating this virus. What we've seen from the solutions that we've had today range from solutions around tracking to reporting to dissemination of the right information. Like I'm quarantining with my mother, and every day she comes to read me a new broadcast of some fallacy around the COVID-19, whether it's if you boil onions and lemon back in a pot, you'll be able to, and inhale it, it will fight COVID-19. Those kinds of things that spread, or the fact that COVID-19 is a rich man's ailment and the poor people have nothing to fear. So those kinds of things basically spreading panic, spreading false information in the society. So what we're seeing is a lot of startups or solutions around how do we ensure that we have the right information disseminated? How do we ensure that the NCDC can respond to more queries and inquiries? How do we build out the capacity for them through leveraging things like artificial intelligence to be able to provide basic information around where healthcare centers are, to validate the numbers of people who have been confirmed affected in the country, what areas are red spots, what areas are green, and basically also being able to track and map the spread of the disease. So even allowing people be able to report cases from wherever they are, being able to track people that return back into the country. So we're seeing a lot of solutions around mapping, around tracking, around emergency response, around customer service for the NCDC, and also being able to disseminate the right amount of the right information. And we're hoping that over the next 1 week, as we work with these companies, they'll be able to deploy these technologies, not just through mobile smartphones, but also through feature phones. So we're looking at how many of these solutions can be deployed via USSD, so that not just people who are online or people who just have feature phones will be able to access some of these features and some of these services as we combat COVID-19. I think one of the biggest challenges that Nigeria faces today is information around where it is, where is it, who is affected, who do we need to be monitoring, who is quarantining, who is not quarantining. And I think that when we have a map and a visibility into this, I think we will be better placed to fight this virus.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, Mimshach, it definitely sounds as though you're fighting the good fight against this COVID-19. And in terms of fighting that fight, what things can you identify that need to be solved or need to be streamlined or made easier for you and others like you in the technology field to continue doing the work you do?
Great. So one of the things that the innovation technology ecosystem requires is partnerships. Like, there's nothing that we require right now more than partnerships. We need more partners on board. We need to get the telcos on board. We need to be able to roll out these services via USSD. We need to get churches on board, people who have communities, large following, large audiences, influencers, people that can talk about these solutions and get more people to use them. We need to get governments on board. We need to get, right now we have the NCDC on board. We have the Lagos State government on board. We also have the Forum of Nigerian Governors on board, but we need as many people as possible to join this campaign. Yesterday, we ran a call for volunteers, so we're also looking for experts, people that can work with some of these innovators to be able to leverage their resources and their services to build out their solutions much faster and to go to market much faster. We're also building a large community of innovators around COVID-19. Every other person who didn't get into the program, so to speak, because of our limited resources, are also still put into a group and a community where they can continue to innovate and build our products. And as we see new innovation coming out from those communities, we would also try to promote them, publicize them, and get them to market. We need media houses involved. We need people to talk about the solutions, to talk about the products and new services, and get more people to use them. It's not just enough for us to work with these innovators to create these solutions. If the solutions just end up at our offices or in our homes, that's not good enough. We need to get the solutions into the hands of everyday Nigerians, and they need to learn how to use them and use them to report, to track, to map, and so we can actually have a standing chance to fight against this virus. So basically what we require right now to be even more efficient is partnerships, and we're calling out to everybody out there who knows that they have a service that they can deliver, that they can help, that they can use to support these innovators to come up right now. We're also looking for more finance for the startups. We are giving out we've been able to raise about $2,000 per startup, but we know that that's just going to scratch the surface for what they require to be able to build out their solutions and scale. So we're also looking to raise more finance for each of the companies or each of the startups or project teams on this program. So that's basically what we require at this time: more synergy, more partnerships, and more people standing up to fight against COVID-19.
Okay, and Nigeria, of course, has a Ministry for Science and Technology that actually said that it would make 35 million naira available to anyone who can come up with, such innovations like yours. And I wonder if you're interfacing with the Science and Technology Ministry and with the central bank that set aside some 1 trillion naira to help startups like yours.
So we would be reaching out. We reached out to the central bank. We're reaching out to various ministries. Of course, we haven't gotten back from them, but we'll continue to knock on those doors until we get a response. But like I said, this is a time when things are critical. This is a time where we need to move super fast. This has been our fastest innovation challenge. So my whole team, we've literally been working around the clock to make sure that all of this is possible. So I'm sure that right now the regular government bureaucracy wouldn't help, but we will keep knocking down on those doors to ensure that they are open and we can get the services and the support that we require.
Great. Mimshach, thank you so much. It's been an empowering conversation that we've just had with you. We really appreciate you joining with us this morning.